and she will come back to the Broadmoor, and we will go.
Well, I'm sure it's a heartbreak for you. It's become a legacy for us here, once again at the Ronald McDonald House, with some of the great kids who will soon go home, beginning on with the rest of their lives. My name's Rod Steiger, and I'm very happy and honored to be their guest for the day with a thought about this place, this special haven, which reminds me, in a sense, of that other fine New York institution of history, Ellis Island. Now, to Ellis Island came the foreign-born, driven by burning ambitions to win back their lives, to dream dreams they knew they could only realize in a bountiful America. It was an island of hope that let everybody in and never let anybody down. Analogous to this small oasis here, which helps salvage and save lives, and they'll have their dreams come true too. They enter these doors as well as our hearts. They come as needful and anxious strangers and leave as friends of America for life, grateful for the lives you gave back to them out of decency and love. The gift of life is today a global effort by more than 40 chapters of Rotary International. The dream began 24 years ago by a handful of Manhasset Rotarians.
We brought over Grace Aguaro, who was 5 years old, a beautiful Ugandan child. The dream was really born in that moment that the father got up in front of our Rotary Club and thanked us for saving his child's life. And we knew at that moment that we had had an important impact on just one family, that we made one family sound, one family whole, one family happy. That is how the gift of life was born, that the dream to just help one child and one family was the concept that we had.
We've come a long way following the dream, also dreamed by doomed children arriving with bloodless faces and empty eyes. Suddenly, revival. The miracle occurred. It occurred 100 or more times a year, that led to one of our most productive programs, Save a Child, and its architect, Ronnie Kessler.
Every year, we had a celebrity for our dinner dance. This particular year, we had two celebrities, Gavin MacLeod and Chad Everett. That night, both of them accepted the award, and Gavin gets up there. And he said he and his wife have talked, and they have decided to give us $5,000 a year for their child. Well, at the next board meeting, I said, you know, I worked so hard to get together a page in a journal to get $5,000. And here, this man connected to one child. Why don't we just give people an opportunity to save one child? Because that's what it's all about. It's about saving a life.
What we've achieved as dream makers, having saved 1,700 young lives by this year's end, is told in hundreds of stories, such as this one by Dan Carroll, president of the Bethpage Rotary.
I was in the Dominican Republic, and I just happened to mention, do any of these children ever need open heart surgery? And one of them said, a couple of months ago, they had to turn somebody away because they didn't do that kind of thing. The child had only a year to live, and she didn't know what to tell her. I said, where is this child? Let's find out about this child. He finally got there, straw-roofed cottage, dirt floor, and there she was with a big smile. I'll never forget that moment. Her name is Ingrid. She was a beautiful young girl. The first thing I said was, no promises, but maybe we can do something. Spoke to the president of our club. The entire club was behind this endeavor. I was able to speak to Ingrid and her mother again and say, looks like there may be some hope. Her life was saved by the gift of life, and she has subsequently returned to the Dominican Republic. But the story doesn't end there. She is eternally grateful, just totally filled with gratitude, the fact that she has a life, that she is no longer a dying child. All her life, she knew that she was dying. And when I got there, the local cardiologist gave her 1 year to live. Today, she wants to help other children. She wants to help other people with health. In some way, she wants to become a professional. And I predicted to our club, Bethpage Rotary Club, that within 10 years, Ingrid will be coming back, having lunch with us as a professional from the Dominican Republic.
Yes, stories like this of one deserving girl encourages others to join our cause. Last year, Maria Kishkovsky and Nicholas Negris, who owed his life to open-heart surgery, met in Moscow and married in Paris. In an inspiring gesture, they asked wedding guests to contribute their gift checks to our mission. $20,000 will guarantee futures to 4 beautiful children. As we near the millennium and our quarter century of salvation, many are sharing the efforts of loyal volunteers, caring doctors, nurses, great hospitals, and of course, the Rotary International. Among our friends is our valued Chad Everett, whose own heart, as national spokesman, beats with ours and the work we do.
The first time I heard about Gift of Life was '92, and Gavin MacLeod and I were the co-honorees for International Humanitarians of the Year. It seemed to be a continuation of the of the work that I'd done with children, so I was very honored to be considered by them, and then when I found out what they were doing, the more I found out about it, the more I liked it.
The dream expanded even further as doctors and celebrities took to the ice at the Nassau Coliseum. Sports personalities and Hollywood actors suited up for the 2nd annual Skate for Life, which itself should save up to 20 children. With Chad as MC in a contest both teams won for the sake of saving lives.
It was a lot of work. You know, every year you try and do a little better than the next year. So I think that, you know, next year we'll try and do this again. I think if we can bring in more celebrities and more people, I think word's going to get out of what a great event this was.
When you see surgeons giving of their time and actually organizing events like this, I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, fine, I can maybe lend some help and maybe help them raise money, but when you're talking about guys like Sean Levchuk, who's, you know, actually coordinating the doctors to get involved and to really perform the surgery, I mean, it's a tremendous service.
When we played the game last year, we had a young girl, I think she was from Russia. There were 2 of them, and one had the surgery, and one had not. And you could see the difference in the 2 kids and what the operation meant to the one that was, she was bubbly and happy and smiling, and the other one that needed the operation was, you know, down and down and out, and I'm sure that after she had her procedure, she was probably feeling the same way as the other ones.
If you can look at your own kids and realize how precious their health is, it's easy to get involved in something like this.
Of all the charities that I'm involved with, for some reason, I guess it's because I have 4 children, that it immediately struck a nerve, and I, no questions asked, wanted to get involved. And I think today, I'm so glad I came.
It's fun to be out there playing with famous celebrities and famous hockey players, but when you see those kids walk out, you realize, okay, this is what we're really here for, is to help these kids.
When they brought Nigora out, I couldn't stop myself from going over and skating across the ice and giving her a kiss. I mean, It was an emotional moment.
It really is an amazing feeling, just looking at those kids and knowing that because of what we're doing, they're, you know, going to have healthy futures.
It really, really chokes you up. It really grabs you to think these children who don't owe anybody anything, who've never hurt anybody, who've never done anything wrong in their life, who've only ever looked for anything but love and understanding, to think that they have to be in a situation where their life is hanging in the balance. It's very sad. It really chokes you up. And so to think that you can do something to make a difference in any kid's life who's in a situation like that, I mean, if you can't do that, then you can't really do anything.
You take a look at a little kid whose, you know, life is being saved because of all that stuff that we do and these brilliant doctors do, and it makes everything worthwhile. Just that put a smile on my face that'll be around for a while.
Anytime you can help children, you're making the world just a tiny bit better. And you realize that those kids are the future.
You know, I want every kid out there to have what I've had. And it all starts with your health. The kid should just be out playing ball and having a good time and have no worries. I mean, for a kid, it just be fun.
And with the gift of life, you know, raising more and more money through different venues like this, we're going to give those kids a dream. And you know, who knows what's going to happen with them, you know, what they're going to go on to be in life.
I want to be policeman. I want to be journalist. I will be doctor, heart doctor.
As the century turns, 1,700 children later, just like these, we see how a hopeful dream began edging out a cruel nightmare. We see it in Save a Child, which proved itself 200 times over. We see it in our Gift of Hope program, which shipped many millions of dollars worth of life-saving medicines and medical equipment to nations at hazard to protect our future, because that's what they are, these wonderful children. And we see it most movingly in the eyes of these children who will continue to have dreams, hopes, and accomplishments, and all because of you. And the children and I say, thank you.